Hello everyone, Madison here and welcome back to my channel. So with today's video, it will be a little bit more of one of those deeper videos than what I usually do. Just so I know for a fact that some people may be able to relate to what I will say in this video, and I want everyone to know I want all the people who are facing the same struggles that I am, that they're not alone. I will be focused on one of my main struggles. Well, it's kind of like 2-3 struggles merged into one. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. So my main struggles is losing weight and going to the gym, and motivation and all that. And I never have stood in front of a camera or deep down into this when I'm talking to friends or anything. So evidently you guys are the first people to know. They only know briefly that, oh yeah, I want to lose weight and all that, and I'm in essentially a club to help me, motivate me to lose weight. But it's really bothered me how much I've put on since a couple of I say that about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, So 2 years ago, so 2019, I was the slimmest I've ever been in 4 or 5 years. And I was like, oh yeah, this is absolutely great. And then 2 years down the line, I put on about 4 or 5 stone since then. And I don't want... So in about 2015, I was really slim and all this, and I was really healthy. Well, I'm not saying that to make other people be like, oh yeah, being the person I am, I'm not healthy and all that. You are healthy. People just don't know your backstory. As long as you know the truth and you know your truth, that's all that matters. Like, I know for a fact that I'm healthy right now, and I'm not. I'm about 206 pounds in weight. I prefer saying it in pounds than in stone, and if that makes sense. Like, you can do your research and all that. Like, I drink plenty of water, I eat healthy and all that, but it's still not enough to make me go back to the time when I was about 8 or 9 stone and I was still a teenager. Like, I miss being like that. And the club that I'm in is Slimming World. You might have heard of it before. I've been in it for 2 years. It would be 3 years this November. And it was going well. It was going well until lockdown hit. Basically, lockdown hit. I struggled so much with not just my weight but my mental health myself. And in the first lockdown, I wasn't really taking care of myself, and I had the lack of motivation to do absolutely anything. Like, in the first lockdown, the majority of us were really upset because we might have, been losing our jobs and all this. Like, I work as a waitress and a bartender, so I bartend down at my local theatre. Not the Athenaeum. I bartend at the theatre that I used to perform in when I done performing art at my college. And for all my Warminster friends anyway. And yeah. That I've technically just answered a question from my Q&A about where I'm based. Oh well, who cares? And most of us were panicking about, are we gonna lose our jobs and all that. Like, it led to, I know this is a bit off topic, but it led me to having the lack of motivation to do anything. I was stressing out. I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to lose my job. Therefore, it threw me off track with everything else. And because during lockdown, the first lockdown, it started 23rd of March, and I was doing stretch and conditioning with my dance school over Zoom, and I was like, oh yeah, if I do that once a week, it will, maintain my health and fitness and all that. And then I noticed myself putting on more and more weight as the time went on, not really sticking to a health plan or anything, and I knew for a fact I needed to change myself. So I started, changing myself and all this, and I was like, oh, it's going great. So with my Slimmer Mold group that I do, my consultant, she said to me, either let me know if you want to do the virtual events, or I can start you back up when, we're able to go to group but social distance at the same time. And I was like, I'm probably going to have to go and start back up in group, so I can't do it through lockdown. And that's what really threw me off. As soon as I knew, when I said that sentence, I knew it was going to throw me off instantly. And looking back on it, I regret everything that led me to that decision. Like, I know, so I have to pay every week for Slimmer World, and I was just falling out of money. Money was falling out from my pockets left, right and centre, and because I said no, I will go to group when groups open back up again. That kind of threw me off track. Therefore, it affected me as a person and my mental health really badly. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll just keep it to myself. I won't let anyone know that it's affecting me. It's my issues and I need to sort it out by myself. Which you shouldn't have. When it comes down to mental health, you shouldn't have to sit there and suffer by yourself. Like, you should always feel like you have a person which you can turn to and ask, like, for support and all that. Like, for instance, I know some people don't want to see, like, a doctor or a therapist about it, and they just want to see your friends. And I totally understand that, because I'm the same. But what we've got to realise is that with friends and family, they may not be able to give you the advice that you need, especially when you're endangering yourself and others. Like, they can help, like, again, with mine, they can help calm me down, but they can't be like, right, this, that, the other, because I'd rather take advice about like what I should do with my life from a doctor or a therapist than someone else. Like, it's really hard to explain. Like, I would much rather have friends or family that I can go to, I can rant to, tell them how I feel, and, work from there, work around it, and all this. And just so they know how, like, I feel and what, like, triggers me and all that, because I suffer from anxiety myself. And it's really hard because, like, this is where anxiety ties in with my struggle of my self-image and weight, because I always get asked the questions of how will other people react to me out in the world, because since 2019 I've put on about 3 stone, and it's not it's not the most unhealthiest thing, but it's not the most healthiest thing. I will say that there's always a positive that weighs out the negative. Like, I'm in the middle of being healthy and unhealthy. But, like, again, there's people that can be, to a certain level and still they can be to, like, how do I explain this without offending people? There can be I would take this. There can be someone who's slim, for instance, and there's someone who could be in the middle, like not slim, but not slim, not fat. I know that's the wrong choice in words, and I do apologise for that. I do struggle with wording things properly. And then there could be a larger person, so 3 scales. And the person on the who is in the larger aspect could be really healthy, but everything they eat, is it high or fast or low metabolism? I don't know, but their metabolism could work differently to someone who is slim, if that makes sense. Like, my metabolism works very differently to my mum's, my dad's, my brother's metabolism, all 3 of my sisters' metabolisms. Like, it's not anything to do with, like, genetics or anything. Well, sometimes it is, but, like, mine definitely is a different metabolism to theirs, because they could eat, like, what? They could eat some fruit, like an apple or something, and be like, oh, I'm full. I could eat a whole McDonald's order and still carry on eating. And, like, say for example, if we both ate a single apple, so you put my mum and I in a certain situation, we both would have the same exact meal. We would both have the same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner for the whole entire week, and she could still look the same as she'd done a week before, but I could look completely different. I could have put on loads of weight, if that makes sense. Like, that's what gets me less motivated, and that is one of my biggest struggles, because, like, I'm doing everything right, but it's just, it's like my body needs a little bit more, but I don't know what more of. Like, so again, like I mentioned, I'm on Slimming World. You're allowed 15 sins a day, so I have the Slimming World app, and I can log my diary, for like food diary, every day of the week. So then my consultant can see what I'm doing, and like eating in a day, and I'm gonna do that until we obviously go back into like the hall, like the Slimming World hall, and then we can, talk about it and all that and sort it out, and she can help me get me on the right track and path. And I think another thing is, like, again with Slimming World, like, I feel like because we text our weight into the consultant now, whilst again on lockdown, I feel like because my weight's gone up, down, like literally like a roller coaster. Like 1 week I'd put on £5, the next week I'll lose 2, and stuff like that, and it really destroys me because I look at it. I look at all the messages I've sent her, my consultant, and I'm like, she probably really hates me because I'm not, it may look like I'm not focused when I could be really focused, but it's just eating the wrong things at the wrong times. Like, I have a few different apps as well to, try and help me and all this. And I follow a few fitness trainers online, and like one of them's on TikTok. I take her advice. Say, like, if she answers a question on TikTok, I can, pick up the advice she says on her TikTok, and I can drop her a comment being like, this advice has really helped me. Thank you so very much for this advice. And I can, drop her a message every time, and and she'd answer it, because I just don't want to be that person that is on Slimming World, but doesn't make an effort, pays their money to just go to Slimming World, like that. And also with the gym, moving on to the gym, sorry. So the gym's the other side of town for me, that way. Yeah, and it's really difficult because it's like a 50-minute walk from here, 50-minute walk, and there's some people out there that are like, oh yeah, 50 minutes, that's not that long, right? It's how I have to get there and all this. And again, it's trying to find that motivation. And once your mind's in the mindset that mine's in, like with all my anxiety, I'm constantly like, everyone's looking at me, everyone's saying this, everyone's judging me and all this. But at the gym, all that feeling goes, because I know we're all at the gym for the same reason. And in my gym, no one really talks to each other. I know that might seem like, bad and all that, but the time I go, no one really talks to each other. And everyone's gone on their own, listening to music, and all you can hear is the treadmill, people running on the treadmill, the bikes, the rowing machines, whatever the rowing machines are called nowadays. And I just feel sort of more comfortable at the gym than I do in my own house. I know that might seem a little bit weird and all that, but I know for a fact at the gym I feel more motivated, if you will, to do a workout there than at my own house, because there's less distractions at the gym than there is at my own house. Like I also for 2 weeks I've tried doing like home workouts and all this to try and like, you know, help me. So if I put some like calories or something in my mouth, I can burn calories like with my home workouts and see if that like balances myself out. And 1 week it did, and then the next week it kind of went, you know, pear-shaped. And because I used to do my workout at 2:30 every day, because I know that my mum, she goes out to pick up my brother and sister my sister from school, and I use that time on my own to like do some workouts on my own, because I know that there's no people around me to, you know, watch me and stare at me and then, you know, laugh at me and whatnot. But that also happens at the gym. Like, nobody really looks at you, laughs and stares, because they know that we're there for the same reason. And it might happen at everyone else's gym, but like I also feel more motivated because I know that once this is what makes me feel more motivated. Like if I, for example, write down a food diary like I do for the Slimming World app, that will motivate me into eating more healthily. Like, and with the gym, that will help me sort of like, you know, tone my body up and help me drop some, like, you know, weight off my thighs and my stomach and my arms. And like I know either way I won't be judged. And the same with Slimming World. You know for a fact that with the gym and Slimming World, you won't be laughed at, you won't be judged, but it just won't click with me anyway. Like, it always feels like the spotlight's on me, but not for a good reason, always for a bad reason. And I'm making a TikTok about, like, you know, my progress and whatnot, and it's kind of like I need to do like a TikTok thing of when I record myself every single month, but I've only just recorded myself in January, and I've left it in my draft being like, oh yeah, see you later, see what I look like on January 23rd, I think, because I looked at my drafts just a few minutes ago. Well, before I started recording this video, actually. And, yeah. That's kind of all that I really wanted to say. And, again, if people can relate to it, feel free to drop me a message. And, you know, like, the people who obviously live close to me, whatnot, we can always work together if we go to the gym. Like, well, obviously DM me and then we can all work together. Like, obviously, like, socially distanced and all this until further notice anyway. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Thank you if you've stayed this long, and thank you for watching. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I shall catch you later. Bye.